Hi, I'm Francesco Garripoli, and I welcome you to another episode of the Wuji Mountain Musings. From here on Wuji Mountain, the nonprofit retreat center we're building in Asheville, North Carolina, as part of the nonprofit Community Awake project. So, I'm bringing you excerpts from our new book, The Chi Effect. This is the second edition of The Chi Effect, a really important upgrade to the first edition. So I hope you will check this out, and it's really jam-packed with lots of information. And we worked hard to bring this new version into being. In this book, the last chapter is called Wuji Mountain Musings, and they're random ideas and thoughts that reflect from readers and from students that I've taught over the decades in Qigong and meditation, ideas from the concept in this book. And the main idea in the Chi Effect is this idea that we are immersed in an infinite field of energy, this life force energy that many cultures know. And in China Mandarin language, it's called Qi. It's the life force energy that we are permeated in. And the basic premise here is that the Qi we've been calling that flows through the body is not the same as the Qi, the life force energy. Those are two different things. And we go into it deeply in this book in a way that I think, at least from the many, many readers who have given me feedback, have said it is a game changer. It's a different way to think about it, and it really brings Qi to the level that we need to for healing. If we don't understand the concept of activating Qi, and we're constantly concerned with storing Qi or getting rid of bad Qi or getting good Qi or holding Qi or judging Qi, then we are doing ourselves a disservice. And I want us to really feel what it means to thrive, not just survive. If you're managing your energy, you're in a survival mode. If you want to thrive, you need to know how to go up to that next level of frequency and activate Qi, especially in heart resonance, and things will change. So that's really the main idea in this book, with lots of concepts about why and how the emerging sciences, energy sciences like quantum biology and quantum physics are starting to show a bridge between what the ancients intuited and what we're starting to see as this life force, life-affirming energy. So if you practice Qigong or yoga, Reiki, Tai Chi, any kinds of the meditative movement exercises, I think it's time for us to really step up and move away from just surviving, get into thriving, and understand what that can be to make you a model, a healthy model on a body, mind, and spirit level. So let's go into what the musing is we have for today. I saw one I liked. I was just going through it. This one I saw was number 58. The back of the book has 108 of these, so you can pick one. There are literally 1,000 of them that will come out in the next book, the Wuji Mountain Musings book. But for now, I have a lot to do here, building Wuji Mountain, the physical part. But here's a fun thought, number 58. One step forward, two steps back. So what? Who's counting? The survival mind. That's what got you into trouble in the past. So why listen to it any longer? Our intuitive mind operates in heart resonance, and she doesn't know how to count. She's terrible with direction and time. She only knows one thing: love and presence. Those steps all become part of a beautiful dance. Your dance, your transformation, asking you to enjoy the journey without judgment. Those steps in the dance, one step forward, one step back. How many times does that happen? I feel it sometimes. I'm human. We're all human. We all go through that experience where we think we're making forward progress. We're excited about something good that just happened, and then soon on its tail, something sets us back. It could be a financial setback, a relationship setback, a business setback, a emotional of any kind setback, where all of a sudden you feel like all the progress, you worked so hard, all your intention just puts you right back at the starting place. But who's making that judgment? Which part of your mind, remember, our mind is not just a mind. Our mind is these multiple bandwidths of intellectual, survival, and intuitive minds. Once we understand those minds, we can now start to point to who is judging the 2 steps back. Typically, that's the intellectual mind, the survival mind, our conditioning. It may be your parents talking. It may be an epigenetic drive inside you from your culture that said, well, you can't succeed. You can't make that money. You're not good enough. All those self-deprecating voices we have within us that put us in a judgment space when anything stutters the 1 step forward or anything challenges the 1 step forward. A lot of it I've seen in people can be a self-worth issue. And you could say, well, of course not me. I'm a confident, happy person. But when you look in that mirror, you can see the chinks in the armor. You can see where there are those places within you. We call it the Achilles heel, right? That place where you have your edge, where you have your sensitivity. And if that gets triggered, you start to stop the thriving forward motion and you start holding on to survival. And as soon as you do that, you're in a state of limits, scarcity, and you will tend to hit an emotional edge. Could be anger, could be fear, could be grief, some emotional edge, worry, anxiety, any of those 5 key emotions we teach in the EMF training, how to transform them. But if we don't know how to transform them, they will hold you, and that 1 step forward collapses and your dance looks like regression. And you feel like you're back and you haven't made progress and you start to judge yourself and you go into that endless spiral of self-deprecating thoughts and emotions. It doesn't have to be this way. It happens. But imagine if you come from a heart-resonant, intuitive mind. Remember, the intuitive mind is a present, loving space. That's what the heart is all about. The heart vibration is connected to the Shen, or the spirit. And in that place, we come to a moment of presence in our Qigong practice, in our meditation, our yoga, where you feel like you see your options. You can open up. You're not trapped in the 5 senses any longer, the limits and scarcity of the 5 senses. But you're into that suprasensory place, the 6th sense, we call it sometimes. The 3rd eye opens up. You're not trapped with the sense of just vision, but now your vision is beyond optics, beyond photons. You're in a place where you're looking into this infinite field around you, and the options become apparent. You can't see them with the blinders of the intellectual mind or the survival mind. The conditioning puts those blinders on us. And now we can only look at a finite set of possibilities. And if we don't hit one of those finite solutions, we feel like we've failed and we step back. The intuitive mind can help us when we have that conditioned sense of regression where we've stepped those 2 steps back and we begin to judge ourselves. The intuitive mind can wake up if we learn how to listen from the heart and say, hey, wait, this isn't all that bad. Maybe stopping my forward motion can open up possibilities where I can now expand from a heart resonant place. Maybe before I was driven by force, by the need for money. And now I'm driven by scarcity and overcoming scarcity. Maybe I'm driven by anger or fear, and now I'm overcoming or trying to manage those emotions or compensate for them. When we are guided by the intuitive heart mind, we move in what the ancients called WOAY Style, the Mandarin word or term. WOAY literally means no, woo, way, outside. So no outside force. We're not looking for any support or help from the outside. We're not looking for any conditioning to prove that we're doing what's right or wrong. We're coming from that place of wu-wei effortlessness, where we listen to our heart and say, I surrender to that intuitive guidance. Some people could say they're connecting to their guide or their angels. Whatever feels good for you, that's beautiful. Ultimately, it is an expression of infinite consciousness playing its out through you, through your intuitive mind, through that part of your mind, that bandwidth that is heart resonant and can move beyond our local, personal field and connect to the infinite field, the Akasha, to the resources around us. And now those blinders are wide open. Our lens is wide open. And the possibilities present themselves. That's when we have those intuitive hits, when we have that moment and go, wow, why didn't I think of that before? Right? Sometimes we have to go to sleep and sleep on it. These are all ways to increase the probability of your intuitive mind coming in, but it doesn't have to be a chance occurrence. These are things we can cultivate. When we do our breathing practice, when we do our moving meditation in Qigong, and you can do this in yoga and Tai Chi too, but Qigong is beautiful in that it sets intention with breath and movement. And when we bring those together, we start to activate Qi. We start to allow that life force energy to tunnel in at the subatomic level into our being, and we start to shine a different way. We become an example of what it means to move from survival to thriving. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's a game that your conditioned mind plays on you. That's when that happens. You know your intellectual and survival mind has hijacked your experience. And it's time now to own our experience, to say 1 step forward. Every breath is a step to my existence. Every step is a moment and an opportunity to live in heart resonance. Every step, no matter what others may judge it to be, is an opportunity for my life path to unfold and reveal the truth of who I am. Infinite consciousness, knowing itself through my unique human experience. And no one can do you like you. That's the beauty of this. The beauty of this journey is to understand the precious nature of who you are. There's only one expression of you in this infinite expression of consciousness. And our opportunity is to own that unique expression, to keep it connected to the infinite. And then from that heart resonance center and grounded place, to live your life without that judgment, but with a loving acceptance, because that loving acceptance is what is so contagious and what's so needed for other people. And when people see you coming from heart space, they will ask you questions or they will recognize something. And this is how we can propagate that loving kindness that the world needs so deeply. Let your steps be a dance of love. Let your 1 step forward, 2 steps back, melt into a beautiful dance of heart resonance and become the person that you are born to be. And to have that self-love, that beautiful acceptance within you shine upon every choice you make, every step you take, every breath you take, to support others around you to do the same. Peace.